Dan George with Portsmouth boss John Mousinho. John, how was your reaction to that game?
Yeah, positive really. I thought it was a really difficult first half for us. We couldn't get a huge amount of pressure on the ball, and the opposition, really good top European side, and moved the ball really well and gave us a lot of problems. So we tweaked a couple of things at half time, and it was a completely different second half. I thought we fully deserved to win the game. That wasn't the most important thing, but it was nice to come away with the win. And some really good opportunities, I think, to look back at what we could have done better in the in the first half, and then some really good things to build in the second half.
What was kind of said in that dressing room at half time? Because like you said, the second half was, came out firing, a few chances for Josh Murphy, and then, kind of persist, and you managed to get the goal in the end.
We just wanted to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more front-footed, so 5 yards higher up the pitch with the way that we pressed and trying to support the 9 and the 10, because we just couldn't get any pressure on their holding midfielder. So it was just about making sure that we made a couple of tweaks and we're a bit more aggressive.
And what do you take from that? This side were mid-table Eredivisie side, no mugs at all, and you really did. Are you encouraged by that performance against that kind of opposition?
Yeah, definitely encouraged, and encouraged by pre-season in general. But there's a real danger that you get too carried away with, I suppose, somewhat meaningless games, or definitely meaningless games in terms of points, but meaningful games in terms of performance and in terms of fitness. So I think we have to take the positives from it, and it's going to give us a huge amount to build on this week. But ultimately, we're going to be judged on what happens this time next week. So nice. It's nice to win a game, and it's nice to perform well, but we have to make sure we don't get too carried away.
How was your summer? You managed to get any downtime?
A little bit. It wasn't too bad. So. Always thinking about football, but kids keep me busy, and there's always you always got half an eye on everything that's going on in the football world.
And now looking forward to that Oxford game next week. How much are you looking forward to going into that one?
Oh, it's amazing for the season to come back round. I think as soon as the fixtures come out, everybody's checking frantically as to, first of all, a couple of fixtures for us that everybody's been really excited about, but just starting to get the football season back underway. A bit of a strange one today, I suppose, having looked at all the League One and the League Two fixtures, because we're not involved quite yet, but the season will be back in full flow next week, and that's a really exciting time for everybody involved.
I guess a personal touch as well, with it being Oxford your first game.
Yeah, there's always that, but I think we've played them a few times now since I've left, and it just becomes another game of football.
I want to get your reaction to a stat that has been quite branded around a lot last week. Since Danny Rowe left Sheffield Wednesday, of all the 18 teams who played last season's Championship and will play in this season, Portsmouth are the only side that go into this campaign with the same manager as August 2024. You're the kind of last one standing, I guess. Have you, were you aware of that? How do you feel about hearing that?
I don't know if it means I'm next or what, but I feel very proud to be the head coach of this football club. And when I first came in 2.5 years ago, it was very much as a long-term appointment, and we were trying to do things a different way at the football club. And of course, you've got to get results to back that up. But there were definitely times last season where the club could have made a change. So I'm very, very grateful that they didn't. But it always been part of the plan. It's been part of the plan not to panic, to build, to get better year on year. And I think it's about making sure we show progress, and that's what we want to do. We want to build again on last year's campaign, and it's good. It's good to have a club that's unique in the Championship and wants to stick by what we've spoken about first of all. And I think that's the way you get a bit of longevity and hopefully in the long term a bit of success.
What do you think that says about the Championship as well? Just how brutal it is.
It is. It's a really brutal league from every aspect. If you get something wrong, you get punished. If you don't get a press right, if you give the ball away, you tend to get punished. And on the flip side, that obviously happens with head coaches as well. It's a really, really short-term game. It's become even more short-term in the past few years, and you can understand why, because of the finances involved, and owners wanting to get to the next level and wanting to stay at the league as well. So you get used to it. I've been in football for a long, long time, and it's happened since I made my debut 20 years ago. So I think it will continue to happen.
Can you take some positives and give yourself a bit of a pat on the back as well from hearing those kind of things, I guess?
Yeah, I suppose so. I guess I feel very, very privileged and very lucky to be in charge of this football club. In the first place, my appointment came completely out of the blue. I didn't think I was ever going to get near this sort of job, so I still feel that way 2.5 years later, and I think that's a really important thing to hold on to, that I do feel very, very lucky to be able to do this every day as a job, to be able to do it at a club like Portsmouth as well. I feel incredibly lucky as well. So ultimately I think if we keep performing and we build on what we have built on last year, then hopefully I can stay here a bit longer.
We've seen Michael Dawes come back into the coaching setup. Tell us a little bit behind that idea and what he'll bring.
we wanted to add to the coaching staff in the summer. It was something that we've been thinking about doing. So we went through a sort of process to try and figure out, first of all, what type of person we wanted, what type of coach we wanted. Michael has been here at the football club before as the captain that lifted the League Two trophy, had an incredibly good career. I played against him a few times. He was a really, really tough competitor. I didn't enjoy playing against Michael by any means. And then he's got into his coaching sort of career and coaching pathway. He did come back to Portsmouth for a brief time as well. So I got the chance to sort of work alongside him when he was in the academy. And after a process, we decided that Michael would be the right fit. And yeah, we're really, really happy to have him. Really pleased to have him. We think he definitely strengthens the coaching staff. And it's not the reason we appointed him, but he's going to be a really popular one, I'm sure, as well.
In terms of transfers, any incomings or outcomings close at all?
You know what? Because I've been so focused on the game this weekend, we had the incoming with Florian Bianchini, who came in this week and had an impact in the game straight away. We got our other two lads on as well, Mark and Luke, who have been in the building for about a week. Paddy Lane's obviously departed for Reading, but nothing imminent in terms of departures. We've had a busy back end of the week. We're still looking to strengthen the squad. I don't think there's anything that we'll see in the next couple of days, but possibly before Oxford. But if not, we've still got 30 days left in the window.
How satisfied are you with the business you guys have been able to do so far?
Yeah, we're really pleased. I think it's been a slowish summer, or certainly compared to the last two in terms of numbers that we've brought in. But that's been deliberate from our standpoint. What we wanted to do is bring players in that we definitely can affect the championship. And we've had to let a couple of players go that have had a really good couple of years with us. But ultimately, we think it's the right thing for the football club, and that's been a tough emotional decision, particularly with the fact that they were big parts of winning League One. And yeah, trying to bring in players that are going to improve the squad. So we think we're in a stronger position. We still think there's loads of work to do, but we definitely feel stronger because of it.
From today's game, tell me a little bit about Adrien Segic and Callum Lang on that right-hand side. I know they can both kind of play in the right or centrally, but just tell us a little bit behind your thinking of how they got on and where you think they're best.
Yeah, it's a really good debate actually. We think that Segs has had a huge impact coming in the last 6 weeks or so. Callum's had a stop-start pre-season with injuries, but he's back to full fitness now, and actually that position off the right is a position that he has played extensively before, particularly for Wigan. And yeah, we wanted to have a look at what that combination looked like in the week when we played Brighton's 21s, and then today again. So probably struggled really to get anything going in the first half, but second half I thought the pair of them looked like much more of a threat, and yeah, that was really pleasing to see that combination.
No Colby Bishop today in the squad. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, Colby's sort of picked up a bit of an injury, so a bit of a muscular injury. So yeah, we'll see how that progresses, but at the moment doubtful for next week.
I know all eyes are obviously on the game at Oxford next week, but another big thing on the Pompey calendars, the BBC Radio Solent Fans Forum on Monday. Just give us a few thoughts ahead of that.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's a really good chance every year, I think, to answer some of the fans' questions. And I always like to try and be as transparent as possible. And yeah, one of those things that has been a good event in the couple of years that I've done it. So you're really looking forward to it.
Just finally, what's your message to the Portsmouth fans this season? What can you promise them, and what do you want to say to them?
I think in terms of what we would like to promise them is that at the very least they're going to see a side that's really committed, a side that is willing to work more than last season, even more than last year, and step up in terms of everything that they give to the club and the dedication that the boys give to the club. And a lot of the time that's all the fans ask for. They just want that want that passion. They want the dedication, the work rate, some of those sort of intangibles that sometimes it can be buzzwords, but I think everybody connected to this football club knows exactly what they mean. And if we can sprinkle that with a little bit of quality off the back of that, then I think we'll improve upon where we were last year.
Thanks for your time, John.
Cheers, thank you.